My dear students, welcome back to our channel. In this video, I will be explaining the B.Ed second semester subject Community Engagement and Service, Nai-Talim, as prescribed by Osmania University and other universities of Telangana. We will go through the important questions and answers one by one. Let's begin with a quick revision. Unit 1 first important short question is: what is Nai-Talim according to Gandhiji? Nai-Talim according to Gandhiji. Nai-Talim or basic education was Gandhiji's idea of true education. He believed that education should not just mean reading and writing from books, but it should develop the head, heart, and hands of a child. According to Gandhiji, students must learn by doing. Productive work like spinning, weaving, gardening, or carpentry should be a part of the school curriculum. This way, children not only gain knowledge but also learn the dignity of labor. For him, education was incomplete if it did not make a child self-reliant, disciplined, and socially responsible. Nai-Talim also stressed the use of the mother tongue as the medium of instruction so that students could learn easily and connect with their culture. Example, while learning about plants in science, students could actually grow a garden, observe growth, and record changes. This makes learning practical, enjoyable, and useful for life. In short, Nai-Talim is equal to learning with work, life, and values together. Next important short question is: 2. What is the role of panchayats in school community engagement? Role of panchayats in school community engagement. Panchayats play a very important role in connecting the school with the community. As the local self-government, they understand the needs of the village and can support schools in many ways. Firstly, panchayats help in providing basic facilities like clean water, toilets, electricity, and safe classrooms. They also monitor midday meal programs and ensure that children get proper nutrition. Secondly, panchayats encourage parents to send their children to school and reduce dropout rates. They also support schools in organizing community activities like cleanliness drives, plantation programs, or health checkup camps. By involving elders and local experts, panchayats bring local knowledge and skills into school learning. Example, a panchayat can arrange for a farmer to explain farming techniques in a social science or science class. This makes learning practical and linked to real life. Thus, panchayats act as a bridge between school and society, ensuring education is meaningful for all. Next important short question is: 3. Define resource mapping in the context of school and village. Resource mapping in the context of school and village. Resource mapping means identifying and listing all the useful things, resources available in a school or village and using them for learning and development. Resources may be natural, human, or material. In the village, resource mapping includes land, water bodies, crops, animals, skilled people like carpenters, farmers, potters, temples, health centers, and panchayat buildings. In the school, it includes classrooms, library, playground, teachers, students' talents, and teaching materials. By mapping these resources, schools can plan better activities and involve the community in education. Example, if a village has a pond, it can be used to teach science, water cycle, fish, and social science, community use of water. If a parent is a weaver, they can explain weaving as part of craft education. Thus, resource mapping helps connect school learning with real-life community knowledge, making education practical and meaningful. Next important short question is: 4. What is the function of SHGs, self-help groups, in community development? Function of SHGs, self-help groups, in community development. Self-help groups, SHGs, are small groups of people, usually women, who come together to save money, take small loans, and support each other. Their main aim is to improve economic and social conditions in the community. The functions of SHGs include savings and credit. Members save small amounts regularly and give loans to each other at low interest. Women empowerment. SHGs give women confidence, decision-making power, and independence. Skill development. They conduct training in tailoring, handicrafts, food processing, etc. Community development. SHGs work for cleanliness, health awareness, sending children to school, and fighting social evils like alcoholism or child marriage. Example, in Telangana, women's SHGs under Stree Shakti program started pickle making and tailoring units. This not only gave income but also encouraged girls' education in their villages. Thus, SHGs are like a backbone of rural development, improving both livelihoods and social progress. Next important short question is: 5. Mention any 2 local occupations that can be included in school education. 2 local occupations that can be included in school education. Including local occupations in school education helps students connect learning with real life and respect community work. 2 examples are: 1. Agriculture farming. Since many Indian villages depend on farming, students can learn about crop growing, soil types, organic manure, and water management. For example, schools can create a small kitchen garden where students plant vegetables. This teaches science, photosynthesis, soil nutrients, and responsibility at the same time. 2. Handloom weaving or craft work. In many states like Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and Odisha, weaving is a traditional occupation. Students can visit local weavers, observe how cloth is made, and even try simple weaving or craft activities. This develops respect for local artisans and creativity. By including such occupations, education becomes skill-based, practical, and rooted in local culture, which is the true spirit of Gandhiji's Nai-Talim, learning by doing. Next unit I. Long questions. First important long question is: 1. Explain the concept of Nai-Talim as a community-centered curriculum. How does experiential learning promote holistic development? Nai-Talim as a community-centered curriculum and experiential learning. Nai-Talim, also known as basic education, was Gandhiji's idea of making education meaningful and connected to life. He believed that education should not just be about reading books, but about learning through work, community life, and real experiences. Nai-Talim focuses on head, heart, and hand, meaning knowledge, thinking, values, feeling, and skills, doing. Nai-Talim as community-centered curriculum. Nai-Talim treats the community as the classroom. Instead of only sitting in 4 walls, students learn by engaging with local life and occupations. For example, students can learn mathematics through activities like measuring farm fields or calculating costs in a village shop. Social science can be taught through village surveys and discussions with elders about history and culture. Science can be understood by working in school gardens, studying soil, seeds, and water conservation. This way, education becomes relevant, practical, and rooted in local needs. It also teaches respect for dignity of labor and community cooperation. Experiential learning for holistic development. Experiential learning means learning by doing and experiencing. Instead of memorizing facts, students participate in real-life tasks, reflect on them, and connect them to classroom knowledge. This promotes holistic development in 3 ways. 1. Intellectual development. Head practical activities make concepts easier to understand. For example, a student learns science better by experimenting in a garden than just reading from a textbook. 2. Emotional and social development. Hard working with peers and the community builds empathy, cooperation, and respect for others. For example, helping in a cleanliness drive in the village makes students socially responsible. 3. Skill development. Hand students gain life skills like farming, carpentry, or weaving, which prepare them for self-reliance and future livelihood. Example: if students participate in a village water conservation project, they learn science, water cycle, evaporation, math, measuring tanks, and social values, teamwork, responsibility, all at once. Conclusion: Nai-Talim and experiential learning make education life-oriented, skill-based, and value-driven. It helps in creating not just literate individuals, but responsible citizens who contribute to their community. Next important long question is: to discuss the role of school management committees, SMCs, PTAs, SHGs, and panchayats in strengthening school community relationships. Role of SMCs, PTAs, SHGs, and panchayats in strengthening school community relationships. Education becomes more meaningful when schools and communities work together. Gandhiji's idea of Nai-Talim also stressed that schools should not be separate from village life but should learn from and contribute to it. In India, different community bodies like school management committees, SMCs, parent-teacher associations, PTAs, self-help groups, SHGs, and panchayats play a big role in this partnership. 1. School management committees, SMCs. SMCs are formed in government schools to involve parents, teachers, and local representatives in decision-making. They check how funds are used and suggest improvements. For example, an SMC can decide to repair classroom roofs or arrange extra teachers. This increases transparency and community trust. 2. Parent-teacher associations, PTAs. PTAs create a bridge between parents and teachers. Parents can share their children's learning difficulties, and teachers can guide parents on how to support learning at home. For example, if students are weak in English, the PTA can arrange spoken English workshops. This ensures better student progress through joint effort. 3. Self-help groups, SHGs. SHGs, mainly women's groups, support schools in many ways. They can supply midday meal ingredients, help in cleanliness drives, or donate learning materials. For example, an SHG may run a tailoring unit that provides school uniforms at low cost. This makes education more inclusive and community-driven. 4. Panchayats. Panchayats are the local self-government bodies that take responsibility for village development, including schools. They can allocate funds for school infrastructure, drinking water, or playgrounds. For example, a panchayat may build boundary walls to ensure children's safety. They also mobilize villagers for campaigns like Send Every Child to School. Conclusion: together, SMCs, PTAs, SHGs, and panchayats make schools more accountable, resourceful, and connected to community life. They ensure that education is not just the teacher's duty but everyone's responsibility. By working jointly, schools and communities can create a supportive environment where children learn better and become responsible citizens. Next important long question is: 3. Describe the process and significance of resource mapping in the school and village community. How does it help in planning educational programs? Resource mapping in school and village community. Introduction. Resource mapping means identifying and recording all the available resources in a school or village. These resources can be natural, land, water, trees, human, teachers, skilled workers, farmers, social, youth clubs, SHGs, or institutional, schools, health centers, panchayats. Gandhiji's Nai-Talim philosophy encourages using local resources in education so that learning becomes practical and community-centered. Process of resource mapping. 1. Survey and identification. Teachers, students, and community members walk around the village or school to note resources like ponds, farms, libraries, or skilled persons. 2. Data collection. Information is gathered about how these resources are used, their condition, and who owns them. 3. Community participation. Meetings are held with villagers, panchayats, and SHGs to cross-check and add missing resources. 4. Drawing a resource map. A simple visual map is created showing resources with symbols or drawings, making it easy to understand. 5. Planning for use. The final map helps in deciding how these resources can support school activities and community development. Significance of resource mapping. Better planning. It helps schools use local facilities. For example, a nearby pond can be used for environmental studies. Cost-effective. Instead of buying expensive materials, local ones like clay, wood, or seeds can be used in teaching. Skill utilization. Skilled persons like potters, farmers, or weavers can share their knowledge with students. Community involvement. Villagers feel responsible when their resources are valued in education. Role in educational programs. Resource mapping directly supports planning school activities. If the map shows a library in the village, teachers can plan reading programs. If SHGs are active, they can help with midday meals or skill training sessions. Agricultural land can be used for practical lessons on farming or science projects. Conclusion. Resource mapping is not just about locating things, it is about connecting education with real life. It makes learning more meaningful, uses local strengths, and promotes community cooperation. In this way, resource mapping helps design educational programs that are relevant, practical, and holistic, in line with Gandhiji's vision of community-centered education. Next important long question is: 4. What is the importance of identifying local artisan occupations in the curriculum? How can this be linked with entrepreneurship training for students? Importance of identifying local artisan occupations in curriculum and link with entrepreneurship. Introduction. Gandhiji's Nai-Talim emphasized learning through work and linking education with life. Identifying local artisan occupations like weaving, pottery, carpentry, handicrafts, or agriculture-related work in the school curriculum makes learning practical and relevant. It also connects students with their community and gives them a base for future self-employment. Importance of including local artisan occupations. 1. Respect for local skills. Students learn to value the work of local artisans instead of seeing it as low status. For example, weaving or pottery can be taught as creative and scientific skills. 2. Practical learning. Instead of only reading about industries, students experience how goods are made, which improves their understanding. 3. Cultural preservation. Traditional crafts like handloom weaving or folk art are passed on to the next generation through schools. 4. Self-reliance. Students learn skills that can help them earn in the future without depending only on white-collar jobs. Linking with entrepreneurship training. When artisan occupations are linked with entrepreneurship education, students not only learn the craft but also how to earn from it. Product development. Students can design small products, pots, bags, wooden toys during school activities. Business skills. Teachers can explain basics like costing, pricing, and marketing. For example, a group of students making clay items can learn how to sell them in school exhibitions. Collaboration with SHGs and NGOs. These groups can help students learn packaging, branding, and even online selling. Local to global. Students realize that small crafts can have big markets. Example, Indian handlooms are famous worldwide. Example, suppose a school in Telangana includes handloom weaving in its curriculum. Students not only learn how to weave, but also get training on how to market handloom products through fairs or online platforms. This turns learning into a skill plus income opportunity. Conclusion. Identifying local artisan occupations in the curriculum makes education life-oriented, skill-based, and respectful of local culture. By linking it with entrepreneurship training, students develop confidence, creativity, and economic independence, fulfilling Gandhiji's dream of education for life and livelihood. Next important long question is 5. How does Gandhian philosophy influence the concept of community engagement in education? Illustrate with examples from Nai-Talim practices. Gandhian philosophy and community engagement in education. Introduction. Mahatma Gandhi strongly believed that education should not be limited to reading textbooks but should connect with the life of the community. His idea of Nai-Talim, basic education, stressed on learning through productive work, cooperation, and service to society. Thus, Gandhian philosophy deeply influences the concept of community engagement in education. Gandhian philosophy and community engagement. 1. Education linked with work. Gandhiji wanted schools to teach through local crafts like spinning, weaving, or farming. This made students connect with their village economy. 2. Learning by doing. Community activities such as gardening, cleaning, or helping artisans gave students practical experience. 3. Character building. Community engagement promoted values like dignity of labor, self-reliance, and respect for others. 4. Education for all. Gandhiji believed education should reach every child and must prepare them to serve their community, not just themselves. Examples from Nai-Talim practices. Craft-centered learning. In a rural school, students may learn weaving from local artisans. Along with skill, they understand community needs and learn the value of self-employment. Village cleanliness drives. As per Nai-Talim, students participate in cleaning their surroundings, showing that education is also about responsibility towards society. School community projects. Students can help farmers in the village during sowing or harvesting seasons. This not only teaches agriculture, but also builds respect for farmers. Local problem solving. For example, if a village faces a water scarcity problem, schools can involve students in creating awareness about water conservation. Significance. Through such practices, students learn that education is not just for getting a job, but for serving society and living a meaningful life. They develop life skills, creativity, and social responsibility. Gandhiji's vision of education for head, heart, and hand is fulfilled through community engagement. Conclusion. Thus, Gandhian philosophy makes community engagement the soul of education. Nai-Talim shows that when schools and communities work together, education becomes practical, value-based, and useful for real life.